Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Evil Man coming to get ya.
This time, you may have noticed, you can hear Chris's voice crystal clear, and it doesn't sound like you've been beamed in from the planet Mars, unlike last week.
I'm from Mars. Just kidding. I'm back, baby.
Yeah, last week was a crisis. It was a disaster. Mike, you moved mountains to make that episode as listenable as possible.
I moved audio mountains.
Yeah. Audio jugs, some might even say.
I moved audio jugs?
I've never heard this either.
Oh, well, anyways, the thing I wanted to say was we also just found out what the culprit was. We used two mic splitters coming from the Zoom H4n recorder. So for anybody who's out there that does it amateur style like us.
Any gearheads listening?
Yeah, and one of the splitters inputs conked and just doesn't work anymore. And luckily, we threw that splitter on the ground now to punish it for being bad.
You know what? Seriously?
And we're using a different splitter now.
After we record, let's piss on it.
I think I'll piss on its face.
Let's piss on the splitter and then burn it and throw it in the damn trash.
I actually hated last week imagining listeners listening and being like, "Oh." Like I really made me mad at just a fucking splitter.
It just, yeah, fuck you, splitter. It's
You-
over there
I
on the
hate
floor, and
you.
I can't stop looking at it, and it's grinning at us, and
It is.
Yeah, it did sound like it was like your ghost was haunting the episode last week.
And that is scary, especially around Halloween season. But you know what? If I gave you a little scare, happy Halloween. My pleasure. But also, yeah, I'm really mad at that splitter, and I'm looking at its ugly face lying on the ground, dead to me now.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much.
But there's so much positivity in the world right now. Why must we fixate on such a horrible thing like this
dude,
splitter?
You're right. It's such a great time in just the world right now that we're being so negative, fucking going on and on about
Sorry
it.
for being so negative. I know everybody's having a great time. And we're going to keep that positivity train rolling
Yeah.
with this next episode.
You know, things are so positive right now that this past weekend I felt that I needed to counteract the overwhelming positivity out there in the universe right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what I did is I illegally downloaded the 4 parts of a new BBC drama called The Reckoning, where Steve Coogan plays the notorious pedophile Jimmy Saville.
Oh,
Mike.
And I watched it alone. He's very good, but it's heavy stuff. But it's a nice antidote to the constant barrage of upbeat news we're getting, you know?
So I guess you felt like, God, the world is in such a good place. Why don't I just dip my toes into something really dark and depressing?
Absolutely.
Otherwise you're just too high.
And the episodes are bookended by actual talking head interviews of real life victims looking traumatized. And then it goes into the drama. And the last scene of the whole thing is a woman crying in real life.
any snacks while you were watching the documentary?
I did have a banana muffin that my brother and his girlfriend made last week for Thanksgiving.
So it was a week-old muffin.
A week-old muffin with the Jimmy Savile pedophile little mini-series. And I had some either tap water or some flavored lime sparkling water.
Wow. Which night was this?
Well, it was all Saturday and all Sunday. So it was 4 hours combined. Each episode was an hour.
Your life is like a short story written by Nikolai Gogol.
I also finished reading my book about the history of Britpop.
Oh, and that's what led you to the documentary, like.
Sort of, yeah.
Two
That's
British
awesome,
things.
Mike.
Yeah. I'm really boning up.
Are you're boning up on all the references of Britain for when you go over to visit Sue's again?
for when I go and do one show on Halloween?
Well, Mike, when you go to England,
Yeah.
you're
It's
gonna
worth
have
it.
so
But you
many-
make your money back on the show on Halloween, right?
yeah.
You're gonna have so many great conversation
Yeah.
starters when you go to England. Like,
Yeah.
oh hi, you live in England? Yeah. Well, you know, I
Mhm.
just watched this documentary for 4 hours about Jimmy Savile. Saville and the horrible, horrible things he did. It'll be perfect.
I hate to correct you, but I've already watched the Netflix documentary about Jimmy Savile. This was a drama about Jimmy Savile.
okay.
Oh,
It had-
Steve Coogan plays
He
him.
plays him, yeah.
That's a daring role.
And they do have a scene where he definitely, because it was implied in that Netflix documentary that, among other things, among like abusing children and grown women, that because he like volunteered at a number of hospitals around the UK, it was heavily implied in the documentary that he had sex with corpses in the morgue, and they definitely have a scene where that happens, sort of. Yeah,
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
I mean,
a long way from
Steve
Alan
Coogan
Partridge.
played that.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Aha!
I just think you got to screw loose if you're making love to a corpse. I mean,
I think more
I
people
just
need to
don't
say
get
that.
it.
Yeah. More
Yeah.
people need
Do
to
you
say
get
that.
it?
I have to confess, I tried to get it.
Mm.
And I failed.
It's like me with jazz. Like I just
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
quite click with it, but I want to.
You want to get jazz in the same way that we both want to understand what's so hot about having sex with a corpse.
Having sex with a corpse, it's about the notes you don't play. Well, yeah, every boy coming into a man has a period where they try to imagine, like, could I be gay or bi or a necrophile? Or, you know what I mean? So you try to project yourself on all these different sexual scenarios to see if anything turns your crank, you know? So
Yeah.
it makes sense. But I guess he imagined it, and his crank was turned, and so he followed through.
He followed whatever turned his crank.
I mean, this is really. I'm probably. I probably shouldn't even say this, but gosh, is it like when you're by yourself doing a sex thing,
Gosh.
and you imagine a sexy scenario, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're doing it with a dead person, is that what you're doing? Going, oh, imagine this person's, ooh, hey, handsome. You know, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. We're drifting into taboo topics.
James, I've watched
Yeah.
two
an
programs
understatement.
about the guy, and I still can't figure it out.
It sounds like he was beyond demented. No offense.
Yeah, no offense.
No, none taken.
Not to you, but anybody out there who also identifies as beyond demented.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
no offense.
No offense.
So,
So when you go to the UK with all this new knowledge that you're
Yeah.
eating up like a sponge, soaking up like a sponge, eating up like Johnny Five,
Mm-hmm.
who loves input.
Eating up like a roast beef dinner.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
This documentary is like a roast beef dinner.
Mike's watching it. I feel
While
like
eating a week-old muffin.
I feel like I'm eating roast beef right now.
Terrence and his girlfriend are like, we should really bring Mike a banana muffin.
I'd hate to think of him watching that pedophile show without anything to snack on. But
by himself.
I think what you're getting at is that, yes,
We also
I'll have-
brought you a candle.
I'll have plenty of things to talk about people there. Even like customs. As I'm going through customs, they'll be like, "What are you coming here for? How long are you staying?" I'll be like, "Yeah." By the way, sir, did you know that there's a scene in the Jimmy Savile drama that implies that he had sex with a corpse?
Yeah.
No, you're gonna be like Mr. Popular when you get to England for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's like reverse the Beatles landing at JFK.
yeah.
When you're being interviewed before the Halloween show, don't say I'm bigger than Jimmy Savile. Can I ask you,
I'm an open book.
where do you stay when you go to the UK?
Different places,
Yeah.
different homes.
That
He
costs-
said he's an
Airbnbs.
open book.
Airbnbs, motels, hotels, sometimes Suze's place,
Mhm.
and other places.
I'm over.
But you're doing a spot on a Halloween show,
Yeah.
and they'll pay you.
Presumably.
So you're fine.
I said to Mike, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
definitely overstepping into his affairs, but I said to Mike, hey, you know what? You're flying anyway. You and Suze should meet somewhere hot and hang out there. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, because England's probably about the same weather as here now. A little bit, getting a little dreary.
It's a little. Well, it rains more for sure. We all know that.
Mhm.
But it's like still like 17 or 18 degrees over there right
Okay.
now.
Would you guys meet at an all-inclusive in Punta Cana?
And then Chris and I come and we record Evil Men.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be so fun. We could all have fun on the beach.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
also, what's the country? Is it Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan that has that the door to hell? You know that
Oh,
fire
I
that's been
think
raging
it's-
for
Oh,
40
yeah.
years?
I think it's He might be Uzbekistan.
I think it's
Turkmenistan?
Uzbekistan.
Let us know, listeners. But I could go on a little vacation, a little getaway in the winter to the door to hell.
That's
You
your
know
idea
what?
of a hot vacation. The literal door to hell standing outside.
Have you seen videos of that? It's like it's been burning because they were trying to explode
Yeah.
it for gas,
Yeah.
and then it caught fire and it hasn't stopped burning for 40 years.
But all you can eat.
All you need, bring some weenies.
All you can
bring
eat
it.
buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
S'mores.
Yeah.
Never ending bar.
Yeah.
Or what's it
yeah.
called?
Well,
Uh,
all inclusive.
Topless bar? No, what's it called when they don't
bottomless
Bottomless
mimosas.
mimosas.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Topless
I love
beach, bottomless
mimosas.
bar.
Door to hell, topless beach, bottomless mimosas. That's the perfect vacation.
Toast your bottom on the flames from hell.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Imagine you come back all tanned. Where were you? The gates of hell.
Mike smells like smoke.
And
Fellas.
brimstone?
I just had a very restful and relaxing vacation to the door to hell. I'm fully recharged. I'm ready for anything you can throw at me.
Yes, you hear souls screaming the whole time, 24/7. But you know, if I was on a beach in the Caribbean, I'd hear birds squawking.
Yeah.
Same
You
thing.
gotta hear something somewhere.
You know, I had a Uber driver from Kyrgyzstan once, for real, and I asked him what it's like, and he said it's lovely. And he said the meat tastes different over there because, like, they just kill the animal and you just eat the meat and it's much fresher or something. So anyway,
Right.
if you do go over there, Michael, be sure to maybe slaughter some deer or whatever. And
See for myself if the meat tastes different.
yes,
I think that's a lovely idea. What
Yeah.
country was that you said?
Kyrgyzstan.
Okay.
I think it's like Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and
the
Azerbaijan
stands.
are all kind of
Yes,
together.
okay. Never been there. I hear it's a lovely part of the world, especially the door to hell.
Maybe we do a little-
Turkmenistan.
It's
Turkmenistan!
Turkmenistan. Okay.
Good work, Mike.
Which has still has like a
Darvaza
dictator.
gas crater,
Yeah.
aka door to hell. I looked up gate, but here I'll tell you another little interesting factoid. Sorry to cut you off.
If I go to
But-
Skyscanner, can I book a trip to door to
I'm
hell?
sure. Well, you know what? You could probably Google Maps satellite view it first and check it out if you really want to go.
I wonder if there is a hotel. There must be a hotel nearby.
But the one in Turkmenistan is called Door to Hell,
The Holiday Inn Door to Hell Express.
which I think I might have saw. But there's a gate to hell because I typed in gate to hell thing and that's the name first. Listen to this. 2,000 years ago, ancient tourists flocked to a Greco-Roman temple in Hierapolis, modern-day Turkey, which I believe our good friend of the podcast, Enes Esmer, is visiting Turkey right now.
He
right?
is.
Is he
Shout
really?
out. He is.
Maybe
yeah.
not Hierapolis area, but in Turkey, situated on top of a cave once purported to be the gateway to the underworld. They watched in awe as animals from birds to bulls dropped dead at its entrance. So that's a different
Ennis-
part of the world, but also,
Ennis, do not go near there.
Ennis, have a good time. Stay away from the gate of hell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have yourself some fun, you know. You do you, but if you go near the gate to hell, we're gonna have some problems.
Yes.
Some people go into risky situations with a canary, you know, the canary in a coal mine, right? In
yeah.
a cage to see if it dies first. They get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I always bring a
Gas.
bull on a leash with me.
Really?
Yeah, it's called taking a bull to the gate of hell. That's what I do.
It's
Wow.
smart because then you save your life if it's dangerous in there.
If a bull faints, I ain't going
Mm.
any further.
Mm.
Bull.
You know what I was reading, James?
Mm.
There was an article claiming that Halloween started in a haunted cave in Ireland.
What?
Have you heard about this?
How does that? What do they mean? Though?
Shout out to our good friend of the podcast, Tom Henry.
Who's in Ireland?
He's in Ireland right now.
West
This
Cork.
is crazy.
Sadly, I
what a world-class podcast.
Is
we
Tom
have.
being
know.
a Halloween detective right now?
He might be going to the cave. Yeah.
Sadly, I don't think Tom listens to the podcast, so this shout out will fall on deaf ears. But
Tom would
still,
never listen to the
no,
podcast.
no
Are you
way.
kidding?
Hell no. You know what though? Speaking of Halloween, last episode I teased a scary
You're always
thing
teasing.
that happened to me at Thanksgiving, and then I said it
Mhm.
on the ill-fated bonus episode we taped that
Oh
had to
my
be
god,
destroyed.
that bonus episode was so good.
I think you
guys.
should retell.
Should I retell my
Yes.
Thanksgiving
I think
scary
you
tale?
should. I wish we should. Like, we can't recreate the riffs DDP and I went on, but fudge, man, what the hell?
Fudge. Well, I'll tell my Thanksgiving tale. So I was at, my family's house in the countryside, very in the middle of nowhere. And Ebony and I stayed a night by ourselves. Big empty house, middle of nowhere.
Already scared.
Husband and wife.
Husband and wife.
Isn't
Yes,
that cool?
it is cool. I like having the ring on. It's like
Yeah.
cool. Being a husband is cool. Anyway, so we're sitting watching TV, and we brought our cat Bruno. And we're watching TV, and Bruno's just sleeping. Suddenly, Bruno perks up. He gets up. He looks directly behind us, where there's a big empty space in the kitchen. And he's staring intently. And you can tell when an animal is looking at something. It's not just like, glazed over looking around. He's looking at something. We turn around.
In a pensive state.
Yeah. We turn around. It's like 11 at night. There's nothing behind us. It's dark, empty house, empty all around us. And he did it for like 15 minutes. It's the cat just staring at something in the kitchen, and there's nothing there. Isn't that scary?
That's.
And then imagine you go to bed, and it's just you and your wife, and you have to pretend that you're not scared. Or at least I felt like I
You
did.
took a vow on the altar saying, I vow I will never be scared in front of my wifey.
I
Those are your
did.
words. Those are your
And
words.
I wish the wedding was after this. I was so pissed.
And you looked, and did you
There was nothing
search
there.
the area?
But then you think, but I was honestly scared to look too long because I'm like, I don't want to know what the cat's looking at.
Right.
You get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah. Cats can see the dead. I'll
There
just
you
leave
go.
it at that.
Anyway, so then I went to bed,
You know what I'm thinking?
and I was scared in bed.
I'm thinking you should have done.
When there's something strange.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
There's something strange your cat's looking at.
When you're scared to death, sleeping by your wife.
Scared to death. Sleeping by your wife.
And you didn't send Ebony downstairs
Who
to...
you gonna call? Not your wife. Don't
Someone-
let her know. Call the damn Ghostbusters.
Call some strong man who... who
The
can punch a
Ghostbusters
ghost.
are so strong. They have the sleeves cut off their outfits and stuff.
We want us to punch a ghost.
Where's this ghost he's so scared of?
When you're feeling scared and you're with your wife.
Who are you gonna call? Some other man. Did you hear anything?
Nothing.
In those situations, you get like extra special, like super hearing.
Well, I will say when I do go to bed in that house, it's big and creaky, and you're lying in bed and you hear a noise and you go, was I hearing that noise at like 5 p.m. and it didn't register?
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing it now. Do you know what I mean?
Did you have to
Yeah.
patrol in your underwear and go through the dark house with a candle? Go,
No, I just stayed in
"Come out,
bed,
ghosts."
door shut, and I just hope that door didn't open in the night.
Do
That
you have
was
a
it.
gun?
No, but I have before brought a baseball bat
Ain't
For
gonna help you.
ghosts.
for ghosts.
They go
yeah.
right through ghosts.
Yeah, you say that, but it's got to be some kind of deterrent. Must
Right.
at least annoy them.
It messes them up. Like
This-
they turn into
yeah.
a mist.
Yeah.
They separate and
But
evaporate.
when they reform, though, they're even more mad.
Yeah, that's true. But how long does it take them to reform?
How hard you hitting the damn thing?
Do you guys know? Okay, does this
What's
make?
time to a ghost? Let's get into that.
Yeah. Well, I had a.
They might reform, and it's like 3 decades later.
True.
Do you agree? Do you know what I'm saying when I say this? If I saw a ghost alone, I think I might go insane. If I saw a ghost with you two guys, I'd
It'd
be
be so
fine.
funny.
I'd be fine. It'd be like, whoa.
We'd have to order it something from Flock.
Yeah.
That's right.
I hate the idea
Shout
of
out to our
seeing a ghost.
non-sponsor Flock, which
Oh.
we eat every time we meet up.
Yeah.
I hate the idea of seeing a ghost alone. But if I had other people confirming you're not crazy, you're not in some kind of hell vortex.
I think you want to be with me when you see a ghost, because I'll just be like, it's not. I don't buy it.
Mike would be the
Yeah.
perfect guy to see a ghost with or a demon.
Sorry, ghosts. Sorry, demons. Sorry, ghouls, zombies, blobs, werewolves, etc.
The ghost would ask us if Mike likes him.
And you get some bad news, ghost. I hate you, ghost.
Previously on Ghostbuster Boys.
Help!
Do you guys have plans for? So you are presumably taking out your girls for Halloween for trick or treating.
One of us does. One of us works the door.
Right. And what are you doing this year?
Last year I was door. My wife went out with the girls, and the girls went out with friends too. Big posse. It was.
Did you
cute.
dress up?
I wore a mask, but then I started taking it off because it was scaring the kids too much.
SpongeBob?
Yeah. Anatomically correct SpongeBob. So, but it was a mask that just covered my eyes.
Yeah.
But the SpongeBob's penis dangled down by where my mouth is. No.
It's a gummy worm. You just chew it.
Yeah. No. I forget. It was like a skull or something. I love skulls. I think they're so cool.
Yeah, you posted a cool skull you got on Instagram over the weekend.
You know they were people, right?
What?
You know skulls were people's faces, right?
You know, we have a skull under our skin. Think about that.
Shit.
Our own skull.
Yeah.
I want your skulls. That's a Misfit song. So I might go out with the kids this year, and my wife does the candy, but then she backtracked and was like, you could do candy again if you want.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a chore, you know?
Yeah.
You're sitting there enjoying, whatever your spookiest.
The Punisher.
The Punishers. It's Halloween. You're not going to watch The Punisher? On Netflix?
James, this is your first Halloween as a husband. How are you planning on marking
Yeah.
that occasion?
You
That's
know
the
what?
thing.
It's so true. It does change a lot when you're a husband.
You guys come over and hand out candy with me.
That'd be fun.
Do you have a husband-only policy, though? Like, I'm only giving out candy to other husbands that come to the door.
Yes. And I wouldn't dress in a costume unless it's the kind of costume a husband would wear.
Right.
Like a Dracula's fine.
Mm-hmm. As long as
He could be married, you know.
Right.
No, actually, I think I'm doing a live podcast recording for Sam Burns and Kyle Patton.
Oh,
for
that's
their
amazing.
podcast on Halloween. So,
Very nice.
Shout out to
Actual
them.
Halloween?
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But it's early, so I could do something after.
So let me get this straight. You're doing a show Halloween in Toronto.
Mm.
I'm doing a show Halloween in London, England. And you're doing the greatest show of all, being father.
Yeah. I guess I'm doing a show of support for my family. But on Friday the 27th, 2 Draculas at Paradise on Bloor, one of the best shows that's ever going to happen to this city, other than an Evil Men live recording.
Oh, Chris, you are a sweetheart.
Also, shout out to Sam Burns and Kyle Patton. They're the funniest guys, too. And their
Yeah.
podcast is really funny, too. So check it out. It's
Mhm.
called Battle of the Bands,
Yes.
I believe. And, yeah, Sam and Kyle rule. Super, super funny comedians. Check it out.
All of our
Not on Sonar?
I have no
No.
idea.
Not on Sonar,
No,
I don't
it's-
think.
it's not on Sonar.
I don't know if we should be promoting podcasts that aren't on Sonar.
Sorry, Sonar, but we got tons
It's
of
on-
friends.
It's on another network. That's what they
Yeah,
used to
this
say.
is like
Really
this
big
is like
network.
David Letterman promoting
Yeah.
the show Wings that was on
Yeah, yeah.
NBC when Letterman was on CBS.
Yeah.
It wasn't done.
Yeah, you're right.
It
And when
was-
he's on NBC, he promoted the Flintstones or something.
Yeah, or something.
That was probably on something else.